Well, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you everyone for coming. We'll start with quick intros. My name is Noah. I'm the founder of a company called Social Snowball, and we are an affiliate platform for brands to partner with creators and ambassadors. So everything from creator sourcing, gifting, the management of attribution, payments, and really just creating these evergreen affiliate partnerships with creators and influencers. That's what we help you do. And then...
Hi, I'm Jean Dees, head of influencer and affiliates at Solawave. I've been working with influencers and affiliates for 12 years, since when we called them bloggers and travel agents. I've attributed over 260 million of revenue through affiliates and influencers, and that's me.
Hey guys, my name is Richie Mashiko. I'm the head of growth and finance at a brand called Birdie. We sell personal safety alarms for women. I'm excited to be here. Thanks, Noah.
Amazing. So the first question I wanted to ask you guys is, I think in the influencer space, there's a big shift happening right now. If you look back 5 years ago, influencer partnerships were very straightforward. You would pay influencers a flat fee and you would get deliverables in return. And that could be posts or content that you're repurposing into paid ads. But now we're seeing a shift, and influencer partnerships are becoming a little bit more performance-based. There's obviously TikTok Shop now, which is all performance-based and affiliate, and it's not the same structure of partnership that we've seen historically. So my question for you guys is, what have you been seeing with the shift? Are you noticing that the types of partnerships that you guys are facilitating with influencers, are those structures different? Do you foresee this continuing and becoming more performance and affiliate-based, or do you see it changing back? Like, what are you guys noticing being in the weeds of this?
So I actually got my start in affiliate specifically, but I would use a phone to call in and give a code and then give someone's credit card number. So the shift has been huge over 10 years.
How long ago was that?
Oh, 2013, you're gonna age me. But what I've seen most recently is the girls who used to be $30,000 are now being more strategic, and they understand the value that they bring. So if before you paid them $30,000 and they were bringing in like 100 to 150,000 of revenue, now they actually want the affiliate commission. So if I say, hey, I'll pay you 20,000 and give you 20% of commission, they'll come back and say, actually, can I just have 40% commission? So the negotiations are much different, and it's almost like they have their own equity and they're on their own timeline. So the shift is huge. And there's a lot more people who said no to affiliate in the past who are more open to it, and they're going on like a longer timeline.
Yeah, I think we work with a lot of micro influencers, right? So people who have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 followers, and where our product is super giftable and seedable. And what I've kind of seen is I think with the rise of things like TikTok Shop, where these platforms where affiliates and these smaller influencers can monetize through affiliate and commission and things like that, that a lot of these people are more willing to accept that structure, right? And I think brands in general just have a hard time. If you're like a startup brand and you don't raise capital, you just have a hard time saying like, hey, I'm going to pay X amount for a creator when you could do this seeding program and whatnot. But yeah, I think affiliates and brands are kind of going towards that direction.
But also, I feel like it incentivizes a longer term partnership too. Like when there's a commission, it kind of aligns the incentive, so they want to post more than one time. Where if you're just paying them a flat fee for a deliverable, you get that deliverable, but then they have no incentive to maybe repost a story or just like add a little bit more to it. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to ask you guys about is, I think in the influencer space as well, there's a huge focus on influencer sourcing and recruitment, how to do that at scale, which is super important, and I do want to touch on that. But what I think is not talked about enough is creator retention. You're spending a ton of time acquiring creators, reaching out to creators are coming inbound, but if they just post once and then forget about you, like it wasn't really that great of a partnership. So I think creator retention is equally, if not actually much more important probably than creator sourcing. So I'm curious, what are you guys doing to keep your creators involved in your programs for the long run and keeping them engaged?
Okay, I could talk about this for days. It's very similar to an email system, how you are acquiring and retaining, but every single touch point has to be strategic for that long-term 2-year partnership down the road. So from the strategy that I'm building out, whether we're building out a gifting campaign So Solawave, we just launched the first ever skincare line that's proven to enhance the effects of the red light therapy device. So anyone who has a red light therapy device can use this, and like your skin is even more glowing than it was before. And with that touch point, if we're gifting them, if we're doing a paid collab first, every output that we have to them is friendly. We're making a connection. We're strengthening the relationship. And then once they do post, it's not, hey, thanks, you've posted. It's, oh, that was so amazing. These 5 other girls have done this and they've gotten more sales. So I'm not only teaching them how that they can be better for my product, like my whole focus is how do I get these people to earn the most commission for themselves so that they're gonna come back and they're gonna know that, okay, Jeannie's the one that told me that, like Solawave's the one that told me that. And then I always do nurturing sequences in between. So like thinking about the emails.
Like email sequences?
Yeah, so email sequences, we actually use the social snowball. Like you guys built it out for us, so thank you. I don't know if you do that for everyone, but maybe I'm telling them you can. We always nurture them. So like how your email, you'd never just send a direct discount for every single email, you're educating. So it's on the founder's story, it's about the product, it's how something came to life. And then within that, we always survey the affiliates. And if we see that like they're always sharing one product, we're gifting that. And in the survey, we ask birthdays or anniversaries. So like what I love to do is anniversary gifts. And then, I mean, if I say this out loud, maybe people will change it. Everyone gifts around the holidays. So I always do Valentine's Day gifting because it sticks out more.
Yeah, and I think for us, love that. I'm going to implement some of that. To your point, I think it's just so important to keep a lot of your affiliates, your creators engaged in your brand, right? Because it's super easy to go out and get and be like, hey, here's a free gift, post, and then that's it. So what we do is we also use Social Snowball, your email flows, right? As I think the onboarding experience is super important, right? So right when an affiliate signs up and we approve them, there's an email flow that gets sent of like, hey, this is an introduction to the brand. And here's content that you could post right away. Here's examples of what you could post. Post in Facebook groups, post in Nextdoor groups, things like that. And then from an engagement perspective, something that we've done that's that's been pretty successful is we actually have a Facebook group of all of our affiliates and our influencers. So we have about 6,000 at this point, and there's a good 1.5, 2,000 of the people who signed up who are actually in that group and engage. And we also do webinars with those people. So our brand is a really mission-driven brand, and we'll bring people who are doing work that are that's congruent with our mission, and expose our influencers and creators to those people, right? So that group has been a big thing, and just doing webinars and talking to them and not neglecting them has been big for us.
Yeah, one thing I implemented a few years ago is I always did like quarterly campaigns for extra bonuses or monthly campaigns for extra bonuses. So that next webinar, I always bring on the person that won to describe what they did and like the different touch points that they have, how they're growing out their sales channels, because influencers that are great and that convert, they know that they are a business.
That's great. I think another area where brands are missing out on like very often is their customers. Customers can be great affiliates and a great sales channel, and I feel like the extent that most brands do is one of these more refer a friend programs where it's like give 5, get 5. You're really just like giving a coupon and getting a coupon, and it's like kind of baked into your loyalty program and not really driving that much revenue. But both of you guys have done a really great job turning customers into actual affiliates, creating an incentive structure that motivates them to refer at scale, and just having customers be an additional acquisition channel, lowering your blended CAC overall. So I'd love to hear what you guys have been able to do to turn your customers into powerful affiliates.
All I did was turn on the social snowball flow, and then there was $100,000 of revenue. So you did a great job of setting up the emails. Yeah, it was really incredible when you're giving them that incentive, how many people really will like go off in the program. I've tried to like re-tier people to put them into the like influencer affiliate program, and they've actually wanted to stay in the customer affiliate program.
What is the incentive that you're giving customers?
It's the 15% off. Well, it changes for the discount, but then they get 15 to 20% of cash.
Yeah, and like you guys make it super easy, right? And I just think about like what you were saying earlier about touch points, right? Every time, every piece of real estate on your site, the whole customer experience of them making a purchase to the order confirmation page and the thank you page, right? Using that piece of real estate, instead of maybe the refer a friend, it's can we recruit them to become an affiliate, right? Doing things in post-purchase email, right? After we send them a survey, depending on their survey answers and their experience with our brand, we'll send them another follow-up to say, hey, do you want to become an affiliate, right? And join our affiliate program. And then all the inbound that you get, right, as a brand, if you run lots of social ads, which I'm assuming everyone is doing, just all the inbound that you get from DMs on TikTok and Instagram, just having, we have someone just answering those all day long. So, yeah.
Very cool. And then obviously TikTok Shop is super hot right now, and you guys have been in influencer marketing since long before that. So I'm curious for like you guys as being very experienced in this space, how are you incorporating TikTok Shop into your greater influencer strategies?
Yeah, for us, we actually have a team dedicated just to TikTok Shop now. I think it depends on the brand, right, and the price point. What I've seen with some other brands as well is that kind of that $20 to $50 AOV on TikTok Shop is what works, right? I think it's interesting. There's a brand that I know that has a younger demo, right? Maybe like men like 13 to 25. That's really successful on TikTok Shop, but we're dedicating resources there where where we have a team that's just reaching out to TikTok creators through their platform, through any content that they see that shows up in in their feeds and things like that. So it's becoming a decent part of our strategy. We're actually seeing a lot of incremental revenue there too.
So for Solawave specifically, we've tested it. It hasn't worked out, but we are higher AOV, higher price point. With the new launch of Light Boost, which is the topicals line, we are thinking about implementing it for 2025. Another brand that I consult for is an influencer-led brand, and their AOV is closer to 50, 60. And I mean, multiple six-figure revenues every month.
On TikTok?
On TikTok Shop specifically.
That's incredible. So I think a big issue and a reason that brands don't go all in on creator affiliates, and I'm sure most of the people in this room have experienced some form of this, is that there's a lot of fraud and there's a lot of code leaks to coupon sites and honey, and it kind of destroys attribution and makes it too easy to overpay commissions, and then it just becomes a whole mess. So I'm curious in general, I think you guys have both done a really good job dealing with fraud and code leaks. How are you guys approaching that?
Yeah, so full disclosure, before we started working with you guys, we were on a platform called Refersion, and just drop the name, but it'd be interesting, right? Because at the beginning when I was managing our affiliate influencer, that program, you'd see people that have, hey, there's like 100 clicks and there's 101 purchases, and at the beginning you're like, holy man, this is great! Like these people are driving so much money, and then you realize, wait, this is a complete fraud, and I'm paying these people money that they shouldn't be paid. Right, so that was one of the big reasons why working with you guys has been good, and just like fighting the discount codes and your safe links, and you could probably talk about that and what the product is. But yeah, just honestly, like the answer is like social snowball.
So SafeLink specifically, I actually can't say a bad thing about Refersion because they were the only platform I knew of 9 years ago, and I could probably name off 9 fraud affiliates, and every brand has them because they're like actually groups of people. I've gotten on phone calls with them. I'm like, hey, I can't approve this. And in the last 6 months, they've become like combative and they'll fight back with you. And I'm like, this is attributed here. Like now I can see it. It's no longer a reversion game. And I think with safe links.
Could you just explain what safe links are? Because not everyone's going to know.
So, I mean, you could probably do a better job, but the link that the affiliate gets when their customers or our customers click on it, the safe link gives a unique code that goes into the cart. So every code would be different, and it's like the best tracking that I've ever seen on a link, and it's automatic because I'll have someone that I know is going to get 3,000 to 4,000 link clicks, and like 2 hours after I refresh, and I can already see like the first 700 or 800 that are there. So it's like the truest way to see the attribution, and then you can customize it. Is it like 1 to 300 days of attribution?
For the attribution window, yeah.
Yeah, so you can have fun with it and then test different programs.
Killer. What else we got? Okay, so actually, really important question. BFCM is right around the corner. Everyone's thinking about it. Hopefully already planning for it, maybe finished planning for it. But for those of you who aren't, obviously for both of your brands, influencer and affiliate is going to be a huge part of your overall BFCM strategy. And there's a lot of moving pieces in a BFCM strategy, but I'm curious if you could explain, like, how is influencer and affiliate going to be incorporated into your guys' larger BFCM strategy? And sometimes that's, aligning teams. Sometimes that's just early communication with influencers. But yeah, I'm curious to how you guys are approaching that.
I know everyone has different opinions of my strategy, but I call it the 12 touch points instead of like the 12 days of Christmas. I have the 12 affiliate touch points of Q4. 2 years ago when I was at Coconut, I had the opportunity because I was running everything there. It was the founder and myself. So from October 1st to October 15th, we didn't have any other promos running, but we were on reversions. What I really wanted to see is, like, everyone talks about the halo effect and the lift, and it was a very low AOV product. So we were like between 25 to like 70 if we were selling bundles through affiliates. Because if you don't have affiliates sharing to a bundle page, you're missing out on hiring your AOV across the board. But what we did was everything else was turned off. Everything that went out as an email campaign was education-based. And we tested like an extra early Black Friday, Cyber Monday from October 1st to October 15th. And because it was so like, you're the only one that has it, it's your unique code, now everyone does it. But like a few years ago, we had people who tripled what they'd made in the whole year because they shared so frequently. So then I was like, what else are we going to add in November? So like it's different bundles, and like it's like every week you have a different touch point and you tier out your affiliates and you segment them, and then like using the emails and having them in the flow and getting them into different campaigns. So I mean, affiliates and influencers need to be like a core part of your strategy, especially if you do anything on social. Because yeah, you can get up to like 40%. And then, I mean, ads are so expensive. Like anyone who does like Meta, Coconut was lube and we had a CBD lube. So we couldn't even run anything. Everything, we would hire an agency to use a different IP address, and like 4 days later, everything would get taken down. So we had no other way to find customers, really.
Are you boosting the commissions during that sale period? Just because I'm imagining these creators are getting hit up by every brand and they all want them to promote. So are you, similar to CPMs rising, like are influencer payouts a little higher during that period as well?
It depends on your COGS, your like on-site discount. You have to look holistically at what you're doing. The best way to do it is if you sell $20,000, you then get like a $2,000 bonus. Or, I mean, I think everyone's seen the TikTok shop, so like you can get a house and you can get like a yacht. But at a very small scale, but you also have to tier it to like, if someone can sell $5,000, then that's when you gift them. But if your tier 1 affiliates are there and selling like 80 to 100,000 a month, you make that incentive higher, and then you use the email segments, and then the programs makes it so easy to just give that offer to each group.
Yeah. So just real quick, what we're doing for our BFCM strategy with our affiliates and influencers, we've already started, right? And a large piece of our brand is paid acquisition. So we use a lot of our people in our Facebook group, our affiliates, to make a bunch of content for us, right? So we've solicited ads, like ad creatives. We've sent them scripts and things that we want them to produce, right? And then that's a big piece. And then we're also creating content for them to share, right? So like as we get closer to the BFCM time period and the shipping cutoffs, right, and just making sure that they're armed with all the content that they have to post and drive up their commissions.
Amazing. Well, thank you guys. I think we're out of time, but appreciate it, and thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you.